Speaking of pretending, there's lots of people in the world that pretend. They play pretend. And there's one specific person. I'm going to be doing a two-parter for this segment. There's one specific person out there that is playing pretend at the expense of you if you're in America. Me, I'm in America. Your family, your dog, your grandma. They're all playing pretend, and we're suffering for it. And who am I talking about here? Well, I'm talking about the individual that's pretending to be the director of the Centers for Disease Control. There was a tweet that was posted yesterday by Rovenski from the CDC. Respiratory viruses are on the rise across the United States. Take preventative actions to stop the spread of viruses like flu, RSV, and COVID-19. Bandage emoji. Get an updated COVID-19 vaccine and get your annual flu vaccine. House emoji. Stay home if you are sick. Soap emoji. Practice good hand hygiene. Does anyone notice that there's something missing here? Does anyone is there am I crazy? Am I losing my mind here? How to prevent. Now again, CDC stands for Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So how do we prevent getting a respiratory illness? We stay home if we're sick. Wait, what? But if we're staying home when we're sick, doesn't that imply that we didn't prevent it? We already got sick? Yeah, hand hygiene. Wash our hands to combat a respiratory virus. This reminds me, by the way, real quick, I'm going to open up another article here to juxtapose this, but real quick sidebar. Reminder, there was a poll done in April of 2020 that polled Republicans in swing states, right? This is just how they did it. Republicans in swing states, how they feel about COVID. And they found about 40% of Republicans in swing states don't wash their hands. That was like an accidental finding of that poll. So I'm just throwing that out there. That was before we knew COVID was airborne, of course. Now we know, 2 years later, 2.5 years later, we know COVID is airborne. And the government is still pretending it's not. Now imagine Donald Trump. Donald Trump saying, wash your hands to prevent a respiratory airborne virus. Imagine Donald Trump saying that. Now, Exhibit B. Nearly half the students at a Virginia high school are absent with flu-like symptoms, district says. Interesting. As U.S. health officials are becoming increasingly concerned about the impact of this year's flu season, nearly half the students at a Virginia high school were absent with flu-like and gastrointestinal symptoms this week, according to the school district. Flu-like symptoms, really? Really? There are approximately 1,000 students absent with flu-like gastrointestinal symptoms at Stafford High School. Our health services team is working with the local health department to identify the root cause of the illness. Oh, really? They're working with the health department to figure out the root cause. Wow! It's almost like we're in year 3. We're about to enter year 4, by the way. Just throw that out there. It's almost like we're on the cusp of year 4 of a pandemic that we've all, except for like 5% of the population, have pretended stopped existing 2 years ago. Reminder, according to some statistics, only about 5% of Americans have gotten the booster shot that is actually tailored toward the variants that are most likely spreading around at this moment. The Omicron variants. I say variants because they stopped naming them. Why did they stop naming COVID variants? They don't want to cause concern or panic because BQXB75.5 is a lot less scary than Omicron. Woo! Apparently, or something. More people have gotten flu shots, the one you have to pay for, rather than COVID shots, the ones that are free. Stafford High School, located in Northern Virginia in the city of Fredericksburg, has an approximate enrollment of 2,100 students. School activities scheduled throughout the weekend have been postponed, according to a message on Stafford High School website. Due to the high number of student and staff illnesses reported this week, all Stafford High School high school activities and athletics scheduled through Sunday, October 23 are canceled. We will, blah, blah, blah. You know they're canceling. I don't need to read the full fucking statement. What the fuck? CNN has reached out to blah, blah, blah. An early increase in seasonal flu activity has been reported in most of the U.S., with the nation's southeast and south central regions reporting the highest levels of the flu as of last week, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, again, control and prevention, right? Like, where's the control and where's the prevention? You know, like, is it just Centers for Disease Monitoring? That's what they should change their name to. Centers for Disease Monitoring. You know that scene from Don't Look Up? We're going to sit back and assess. That's what they're doing. They're not controlling or preventing fucking shit. What? School districts elsewhere in the U.S. have reported an uptick of flu-like symptoms among students. This is like 1984 shit right now that we're dealing with. Like, I'm sorry, man. We are done. As a society, now again, I have to stress this point. The first time in my lifetime, as an American, that we have widely available, free of any charge, universal, anyone can get it, effective, it works, healthcare. Free. Universal, effective healthcare in this country. 5% of the country is like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I love healthcare. 5%. 95% of the country is like free, universal, effective healthcare. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna go get sick and die, thank you. Can you just buy, like, I would rather, I can't say any of that. Anyway, just get it over with. Just peel the bandage off and let's get rid of the stupid people. I'll just put it that way. But again, real quick, so we don't forget, the director of the CDC. The director of the CDC. Now again, washing your hands, that's great. I'm not anti-hand washing. But like, I love how they use the emojis here. Like, we're hip. Look how hip we are. We're like the cool kids. We're using emojis. Woo! The director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, get a vaccine, stay home if you're already sick, and wash your hands. Don't wear a mask or anything. It's not like we don't want to trigger anyone. Think about this. Think about this. It's not just Republicans. I need you to know this. It is not just Republicans. I know we all want to just have that knee-jerk reaction and say, well, the Republicans are the problem. It's not just Republicans. They're the problem. They're fucking stupid. Republicans are just, like, again, they're so dumb that they have like a negative IQ. Like, they're inside their brain, there's like an IQ black hole that's just sucking everything in, right? Those are some motherfuckers, right? But it's Democrats. Joe Biden said the pandemic was over. What? He said that like 8 times, by the way. But like, it's Democrats. Like, I need you to understand this. This is not just a problem we can pin on Republicans. Republicans and Democrats have united against common sense prevention of a deadly fucking disease. Talk about bipartisan. 9/11 approximately every week and a half to 2 weeks. And Americans are like, sign me up. Like, what? What? Like, again, Republicans in their obsession with Donald Trump and listening to everything Donald Trump says is a problem. So when Donald Trump lies about the pandemic, and his whole party listens to him, that's a problem. But has anyone been paying attention to what's been going on with Biden and Democrats? I'm not talking about elected Democrats. I'm talking about voters. I'm talking about the voters. I know a lot of people get fucking triggered. They freak the fuck out when they see people online talk about voters and how voters are a problem. But I'm talking about Democratic voters are, in a lot of ways, just as fucking stupid as Republican voters. Let's be honest. And when it comes to public health, Democrats, let's be real. Let's say it how it is. Democrats are even fucking dumber than Republicans. Now, hear me out. Republicans, like, let's be honest. It's like expecting, like, a turtle to juggle, like, 4 bowling pins. It's not going to happen, okay? Right? Like, they're just not capable of that. We shouldn't expect Republicans to be capable of juggling 4 bowling pins. It's just not a thing. Democrats claim to be capable of juggling. It's like, imagine if you like, someone's like, you know someone for 30 years. Oh, man, I can juggle 4. 5 is a little too much. 3 is easy mode, but 4 bowling pins, I got this. I can do this. They hype it up 30 years, right? Back in my day, I used to be a professional juggler. I'd juggle 4 bowling pins. It would be awesome. And then you finally ask them to do it, and they try, and they fail epically. Like, they can't even, like they throw it, it lands on their head, and then they fall down and cry or something, right? I know this analogy is a little comical. But again, who is dumber in this institution, or rather in this situation? The person who you don't expect anything from anyway, or the person who claims to be so intelligent, claims to be someone on the side of... You ever see those yard signs? In this house, we believe that science is real. You ever see this shit? It's all over the fucking place. You know, do they wear masks? Probably not, because they're Democrats, and Democrats are fucking stupid, dude. Like, I need you to understand. Republicans are just, they're too far gone, right? Again, it's like the black hole, right? They're sucking everyone in with them. Democrats, again, fucking dumbasses, dumb fuck motherfucks, let me tell you. The director of the CDC is just pretending like masks don't exist. If everyone wore a mask, an N95 rated mask, anytime they entered the store, everyone, we're talking about everyone, COVID would pretty much be gone in a couple months. So just think about that. So anyway,